Hello, it's Bohemian Barb here, and I'm going to be doing your October tarot scopes for fire signs, okay? I hope everything's been going good for you. I've got my Marine Oracle deck today, and I'm going to pull a couple cards for you fire signs, which is Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. All right. Hope everybody made it through that eclipse we just had on the 21st of September. That was some intense energy, I'll tell you that. All right, let's get some oracle cards for you here. Make some room. Okay, let me cut the deck here, fire signs. All right, we've got gentle moderation. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you are trying to accomplish. Okay. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by negotiating what you are trying to accomplish. Okay. And then we have disengage from outcomes. Let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you might be holding on to. Okay. All right, let's see. Interesting. Disengage from outcomes. You know, sometimes we always have something in mind and we want it to go a certain way. When it doesn't, we're like, gee, why didn't it? Well, sometimes the universe knows better than what we do, what's best for us, okay? So, you know, forgiveness is what it's saying, you know, be forgiving and the universe will turn things around in your favor, right? Don't have outcomes in your head. Sometimes when we make goals for ourselves too, we're like, oh, by, you know, this date, I'm going to have this done, I'm going to have this money saved, blah, blah, blah. That's really hard on ourselves. Sometimes we need to go with the flow a little more. Fire signs, I know you get something in your head and it's just got to go that way, but sometimes the universe knows better than we do. Okay, I'm going to start with Sagittarius, okay? Let's see what we got here. What's Sagittarius been going through, huh? All right, you've got the Emperor reversed. Okay, Sag, it looks like you've been a little bossy lately, okay? You know, the Emperor is good when it's in a leadership form and you're engaged with others and you're caring for others and you want what's best for others. Sometimes when it's reversed, you're a little bit stubborn. And that's kind of what this is saying right here. Don't predict outcomes, okay? You're kind of putting yourself in a box by not being open to what is available when you have something so set in your mind, okay? This one always said, gentle moderation. Take your time. Relieve the pressure that you're putting on yourself and others, okay? Everything doesn't have to be done by the end of the day, okay? There's always tomorrow, all right? So don't be so hard on yourself and others, okay, with that Emperor card. All right, let's pull another one. Judgment reversed. Okay, so Judgment reversed is maybe others are judging you a little too harshly or you're judging others a little too harshly. Like it says, disengage, take a step back and look at things from a different perspective, okay? The Judgment reversed also is when we have endings, whether it's a job or family members, breakups with loved ones. When it's reversed, sometimes we have a little bit of guilt. Like we feel like, man, I could have said things a little bit nicer. I could have did things in a different way. I could have taken a different route. There's a little bit of guilt with that Judgment, okay? Like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. There's always tomorrow. I'm going to pull another card for you just because those are upside down and I want to get it. You got to find something to get you back on track here, okay? Let's see, Sag. What else do we got? Oh, gosh. All right. Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, this is telling me you're way too in your feelings, okay? You've got the Emperor and the Queen of Cups reversed. So something is really hitting your heartstrings and making you really emotional. Now, maybe it's not happened yet because we're just starting October, but I want to give you a heads up, fire signs, that Mars is now in Scorpio, and that's really going to get everybody in their feelings. Maybe something that 2 months ago wouldn't have bothered you, but somebody's going to say something or do something, and it's just going to light it off, right? And you're just going to be like, what? Okay, remember this when that happens. Just remember it's Mars in Scorpio. It's not the end of the world, but Mars likes to push us to do what we're supposed to do. But you don't have to be so aggressive in doing it or getting it that way. But it, Mars in Scorpio, it's in its sign, right? It's the ruler of Scorpio. So it has a lot more energy to it than, let's say, if Mars is in Cancer. Okay, it's a different kind of energy. And you being a fire sign, anything can set you off like, woohoo, well, it could be a good thing too. You're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go tomorrow. Okay, so kind of just, like it says, disengage from outcomes, okay? And, be a little less harsh on yourself and others. That's exactly what it says. Release the pressure. Don't give people so many deadlines. Have a little leeway, on outcomes. Okay, let's see here. Let's get you another card. I'm going to grab from the middle here. And this one says journey. You may move to a new place for work or travel for work. Exploring the world gives you experience you need to succeed. That's a great card. And I know, Sagittarius, you love to travel. So maybe there's somewhere you want to go or move to, and it's just not happening fast enough for you. So I get that. I get that a lot with the Sagittarius. You're like, I want to go. Where's my vacation time? What time can I go? That's funny. Okay, let's pull a romance card for you. Whoa, in the middle here. All right, you got family. Okay, so maybe family is kind of the hiccup in your plans a little bit, and it's not moving fast enough, right? Maybe they have obligations that they have to do, so they can't coordinate with your plans, that type of thing. So, it might not just be as serious as you think it is, but there is some family here that you need to consider with your decisions that you're making, okay? Let's see, what other cards? I'm going to take some little oracle cards here and see what we got, okay? It says, embrace change. You're pretty good with that most of the time. You will do the best you can every single day. And you can't change anyone else, just change yourself. Okay, let's get one more. My heart is open to love. Okay, that's good. All right, Sag, it looks like things are going to kind of work out, but it might not go as fast as you'd want it to. Just remember to take a deep breath and kind of plan things, but have a little leeway and go with the flow a little bit more. I know it's kind of hard for fire signs to do, except for Aries. Aries like to plan everything. They like those plans. All right, Sag, you got this, okay? All right, let's do Aries next. What's up for you, Aries? I remember right, Aries, you had a couple good readings, the last two readings I did. I'm trying to remember, it was so long ago. Okay, you've got the Hermit. Okay, so this tells me you've been kind of taking a step back from life, kind of reevaluating things and trying to find your inner peace, your inner solitude, what you want to do next, what's ahead for winter. Maybe you're planning trips, maybe you're planning things for your kids. The Hermit just makes us kind of disengage from life so that we can take a breath. Maybe your summer has been super, super busy with lots of activities, which you do like, but we all do have to take a step back and relax, right? Just like the card says, take the pressure off, So you fire signs have really been going at it for the summer, it looks like. All right, Aries, what else do we have? The Hangman. The Hangman reversed. Okay, so things are kind of at a standstill for you, or they have been, but it's reversed. So it's going to change, all right? And this is why you've been taking a step back. You're planning, you're thinking what your next move is and what you want to do, and that's going to take this hangman to another level. So things are going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time, okay? Okay, so you've been really upset about some things, it looks like. You've got the Nine of Swords. Sleepless nights, trying to stay on top of everything that's been going on. Maybe you've got job worries. Maybe you've got family things going on. You know, this card is a lot of anxiety and stress. Okay, so I see why you've got the Hermit here. You really need to take time for yourself. Okay, the start of fall is a really good time to do that before all the holidays hit. So take some time. Maybe you need to just go to the beach for a little bit. Gentle moderation, release the pressure, right? And this one says, let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. You know, go with the flow a little bit. I know it's hard for you fire signs to go with the flow, but your cards are telling you that. Okay, take October to kind of relax a little bit and, you know, regroup, get some energy for the holidays because they're probably going to be busy, right? All right, let's pick a card for romance here, Aries. Okay, so you've got the Control card. Okay, so this is why you've been like this high anxiety here. So this is a card of control, all right? So either you feel like you're not fully in control, you don't have enough control, someone is controlling you in a way that you don't like. Maybe they have control over your decisions, or at work there's just something that you can't control it. But you know what, we can't control everything. Sometimes we have to take a seat back and just see what happens. Like I said, trust the universe. They know what's best for us sometimes, even though we don't see it. And my nose is really itching, which makes me think that Aquarius, this reading is really important to you. That's super weird. I've been doing these readings and I haven't had any itching. But what do they say when someone's thinking about you or something, when your nose itches? But anyway, I feel like when I said there's something at work, I feel like that's what it was, because that's when my face started itching. Yeah. So maybe try to regroup and have a different kind of control instead of in your face control. The other thing is that Mars is in Scorpio. I don't know if I said that in this video yet or not, but it's going to make everybody a little bit in their feelings, and it's going to be hard to kind of control everybody when they're all like, you know, because Mars in Scorpio, you know, they have that stinger. So just kind of watch your words, and, you know, the card says, you know, forgive and regroup and take the pressure off. So, you know, we all have things happen, but we have to, you know, kind of start from scratch, start over. Fall's a good time to do that. Okay, let's get a card from this deck for you, Aries. Okay, you have many choices. You have options, even if you don't see them right now. Get creative and look around. Pull a card for each option to see which is best. Oh, see, there's my nose again. Something's coming for you, Aries. I feel it. I feel like options. I really feel like it's between two jobs. You're going to have choices between two different jobs. I don't feel like it's love. It could be love, but I'm feeling it's more work related. Maybe you're thinking about starting your own business or something like that, but I just got this feeling it has something more to do with a job. You know, maybe you have a boss that's, you know, kind of a helicopter manager, you know, that's kind of always in your business and watching what you do and controlling it a little too much. So that there's something about your job. I really feel that. Yeah. If you have any vacation time, and use that hermit mode and kind of figure out your next move, I feel like you might come to a better outcome, or solutions might come to you out of the blue when you're just relaxing and not really thinking about it so much. Okay. Let go of things that no longer serve you. Okay, what did I just say? The universe has a plan for you. Pull another card from your tarot deck. I'll do that in a second. Practice chakra healing. Okay, so there's a lot of videos on YouTube where you can cleanse your chakras, and you kind of just lay in bed, and it takes like 10 minutes. They have 10-minute ones, hour-long ones, 20-minute ones. Um, yeah, cleanse your chakras. It also has a very calming effect on you as well. And you see things in a different perspective when you can cleanse your chakras. So I'm going to grab another card because it told me to from the tarot deck, Aries. And let's see what it says. The World. Okay, Pisces just got this. Okay, the World is the last card in the tarot deck, so you do have some endings coming up. And you're going to be left with a lot of choices. This is a really good card. You're starting a whole new life cycle, okay? Maybe some of you are entering your Saturn return. I'm not sure, because I think Saturn, oh my gosh, is going to go back into Aries, or is in Aries right now, if I remember right. So yeah, that would mean a Saturn return. For every 28 years, you have a Saturn return, and I believe Saturn's going to go into Aries. So this is definitely completion. This is the last card in the deck. So you definitely are going to be starting on a whole new journey in a few months. So yeah, sounds pretty good, Aries. Just don't get too uptight about it and upset, okay? Because things are going to go how they're supposed to. So you have to know that, all right? You just need to reflect. Okay, let's do Leo. Leo. Let's see what's going on for Leos, okay? All right, let's cut the deck here. All right, Leo. All right, you've got 4 of coins here. Okay, so 4 of coins is about security, feeling secure. You really want that feeling of security, especially financially secure. Sometimes this card means you're just hanging on a little too tight to your money, and you have to get in the mode of give and receive, okay? So if you're always hanging on to your money, you don't get any, right? When a cup is full, you can't have any more in it, right? So if you spend money, it's going to help generate more money back to you. Every time you spend money, say, hey, this will come back to me tenfold every time you spend money, okay? So don't worry so much about money, but I know that the 4 is about finding secure foundations, okay? So maybe things have been a little light in the purse for you this summer. Maybe you went and spent a little too much money, went on vacation, so now you feel like you have to get some more in savings or something like that. Okay, there you go. There's your 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're worried about security. These are both cards that deal with security, right? And this is upside down, so you're a little bit worried about your finances, okay? But just know that 10 is also a transition card, right? So it's the end of a cycle. It's a 10. So you're going to start over again. So October, you're going to probably find ways to replenish. Okay, I have a feeling something's going to come to you, right? It says gentle moderation in your Marine Oracle cards, and open yourself up to the highest love that you deserve. Okay, release worry. Okay, let's pull one more card here. Oh, see, there you go. Now you got the 10 of Cups. So things are going to work out. All right. And this is also a 10. So, you know, it's the end of a cycle as well. So you're going to be